What if I told you that World War II didn't start with a bang, but with a lie? A staged attack, a faked story, and one man's hunger for revenge. This is the story of how the deadliest war in human history began. Not in 1941, when America joined. Not even in 1939, when Germany invaded Poland. But years earlier, with broken promises, political games, and the rise of something dark in Europe. Chapter 1. The end of one war, the beginning of another. To understand how World War II began, we have to go back to the end of World War I. In 1918, Germany surrendered. The Treaty of Versailles was signed in 1919. That treaty blamed Germany for the entire war. It forced them to give up land, pay massive reparations, and limit their military. Germany was humiliated and angry. Their economy crashed. People were starving. Inflation made money worthless. In that chaos, a bitter World War I soldier named Adolf Hitler saw an opportunity. Chapter 2. Hitler's Rise. In the early 1920s, Hitler joined a small political group called the National Socialist German Workers' Party, the Nazis. He was charismatic, loud, furious, and he blamed Germany's problems on outsiders: Jews, communists, the French, the British. In 1933, Hitler became chancellor. A few months later, he took total control. Germany was now a dictatorship, and Hitler had one goal: make Germany powerful again. He rebuilt the army, defied the Treaty of Versailles, and began expanding. At first, the world didn't stop him. Chapter 3. The March Toward War. In 1936, Hitler sent troops into the Rhineland, a region Germany wasn't allowed to militarize. No one stopped him. In 1938, he took over Austria. Then, he demanded part of Czechoslovakia, the Sudetenland. Britain and France, desperate to avoid another war, gave in. They signed the Munich Agreement, letting Hitler have the land if he promised peace. But Hitler had no intention of stopping. He saw the West as weak, and he had bigger plans. Chapter 4. The Deal with the Devil. In August 1939, something shocking happened. Germany and the Soviet Union, two ideological enemies, signed a secret deal. On paper, it was a non-aggression pact, but behind the scenes, it was much more. They agreed to divide Eastern Europe. Germany would get Western Poland. The Soviet Union would take the East and the Baltic states. Chapter 5. The Fake Attack. Just days later, on August 31st, 1939, German SS officers staged a fake Polish attack on a German radio station. They dressed prisoners in Polish uniforms, killed them, and left the bodies behind. It was a lie, but it gave Hitler the excuse he wanted. The next morning, on September 1st, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. The Blitzkrieg lightning war had begun. Chapter 6. The World Reacts. Britain and France had promised to protect Poland. So, on September 3rd, 1939, they declared war on Germany. World War II had officially started. But in those first months, very little happened in the West. Historians call it the phony war. But in Poland, the horror was very real. Germany attacked from the West. The Soviet Union invaded from the East. Within weeks, Poland was crushed, its people divided, and the rest of Europe braced for what would come next. Chapter 7. Why it happened. So why did World War II start? It started because of revenge. Because Germany was humiliated after World War I. Because the world didn't stop Hitler when it had the chance. Because leaders chose appeasement over confrontation. And because one man used fear, hate, and nationalism to take over a country, and then a continent. This isn't just a story from the past. It's a warning. Dictators don't take power overnight. They rise when people are desperate. They grow stronger when good people look the other way. That's why history matters, and why stories like this must be told. If you want to keep exploring the hidden causes and untold stories of World War II, subscribe to this channel. We're just getting started. And if you're ready to go deeper, the next video on screen is one YouTube thinks you'll love. Click it, and I'll see you there.